Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So I wanted to do a video on several items that I commonly find at job sites or in dumpsters or house renovations, even house to house on garbage day, that contain a lot of brass. Brass continues to be our scrapper silver. Currently in London, Ontario, it's going for $3.02 a pound. As you can see behind me, I do have a nice score right here already started. And these items here often find great source of scrappable. This one, you can see the first item, power bars or surge protectors. A lot of my outlets like this, pronged outlets, as well as your light bulb connectors from the tubular lights, fluorescent lights, as well as lamps. All three of these items commonly find. You can see this surge protector right here, or power bar, caked with drywall. I did find this at a dumpster. It was thrown out, probably doesn't work anymore. Could have been because of that tear there. But all of these items, I will not try to resell. People have thrown them out for a reason, so they are gonna be scrapped. As well, any type of outlet like this, I have found a huge box of those that were thrown out from electricians. And my brother, who is also an electrician, has mentioned that if I was to try and sell these and there was something wrong with them, I could be liable. So thank you for that advice, Brandon. Shout out to you, all electricians, your hard work for sure, and your knowledge and expertise. So thank you again, Brandon, and happy Thanksgiving to you and all my family. But as well, the light fixtures here, your connectors, all of these items here, different styles, but these two loaded with brass. So I'm gonna start with my power bars here. Some of them, unfortunately, are harder to get off. They do have some safety bolts in them to keep you out. So in those cases, a hammer can come in handy just by smashing it. But I do wanna look at this one right here. This one, the nice thing about this surge protector, I did find this one actually on the curb, but it actually does contain as well some gold prongs in it. Any type of your phone jack or your USB ports, they will have gold prongs, but the brass is my topic here. This one does have bolts in it or screws in it. So just gonna remove these very quickly. Start off with this one. And again, some of these, when I plug them in or if I try to plug them in, look like there's nothing wrong with them, but again, I don't know what the problem was, so I do not want to try to resell these or even take the chance on these in my house. So again, easy to take apart. And the great thing about all of these as well, these do have a really nice cord to them. This cord is going to be my 40% appliance wire, but on the topic of brass, these two have some beautiful brass prongs. I do pull these off. Just gonna quickly take them. Side cutter, hold it, bend it. Here we go, just gonna fold it, twist. There we go. So a nice brass prong there. Couple of them here. So again, $3.05 a pound. Look at that, did not take much work. So gonna take these off for sure because I'm trying to look at not only yellow brass, but coated brass like this, all goes in the same pile. So $3.05 a pound, great price for sure. Quickly adds up. And there are a number of places that you can find brass for sure. This is just two of the places or three of the places that I want to look at. I do have other videos looking at other places, but now that the screws are out, just gonna give it a small tap to remove casing. There it is. So pulling this out, is there another screw that I missed somewhere? I don't think so. No, so I'm just gonna pull it now, pull it downwards. There is gonna be a connection. There we go. So a little bit of plastic here, unfortunately, but look inside of that. Look at that beautiful yellow brass that's coming out of there. That is beautiful right there. So $3.05 a pound for that. There is a little bit more that you can see in there. Look at that glistening there. So just gonna pull this all out. There is the on and off switch here that is gonna contain a little bit of other goodies, but I'm just gonna try and pull out as much as I can just to show you that on and off switch too. You can see right at the top there, does have some brass prongs on it too. right there. I'm gonna get all that brass, and I will include in my description the full weight of all of my brass from taking these items apart. Very easy to do so, as you can see, but great source of brass. And I've wanted to do an individual video on power bars and surge protectors, but why not do it all together? But look at that. There again, there is some gold prongs. So I do have videos showing you how to take those off, and I will include the link to those in my description. But look at that. Beautiful brass here. 3 pieces right there. Okay, so this has 3 long yellow brass. Gonna look at the one that's broken here. You can see it right there. I have started it. The wire was cut on this, but I will still throw the rest of this into my 60% recovery. But just gonna finish this one off with a hammer. There we go. So there, slides out as well. A couple cases. And again, very simple to do, as you can see. Because this is all going to the trash, I'm not too worried about keeping it all intact. But I do want to make sure I keep safety glasses on just when I'm breaking something. But look at that beautiful brass there. And it all adds up. This wire right here, this smaller stuff, I'm going to throw these little pieces actually into my higher value appliance wire. This is going to be 60% appliance wire. But the nice thing about these that I also wanted to point out, that you saw earlier, I did take the prongs off this. I am not going to take the head off of this. I'm going to leave it on and throw it right into my 40% appliance wire with the weight. But I do want to get those prongs off. Okay, so there you go. Surge protectors, power bars. This one I'm probably also going to hit with a hammer, but look at how heavily coated that is with drywall. So again, you do find these often. Next thing I wanted to look at was my outlets. I found a huge case of these from an electrician, and there are different styles that you can see, the round ones, some that are the rectangular ones. And if I look on the side there are going to be screws on there, but you do have to be careful on the types of screws. These ones here, if I put a magnet to these ones, these are non-magnetic. And that is great. If I scratch them with a file, you can see right there, it does reveal the gold as well. Sorry, I'm trying to focus that. There is the gold underneath. However, some of them, like this one, if I put a magnet to it, it looks gold, but unfortunately, that one right here, there is a magnetic attraction. So some of them look like brass, but underneath they are actually just coated. They are magnetic. They are going to be tin. So you do have to be careful of that. Brass is non-magnetic. So you don't want to throw this into my brass, assuming that it is going to be brass just to get downgraded. So just going to pull it out just to show you. They just unscrew. So there you go. There's my screw. You can see it does attract. So you can't put that in there, but some of them like this, that is brass. So some of your screws, I've seen a lot of even nuts and screws are brass, but again, you do have to scratch them. You do have to check with the magnetic attraction, but very easy to open these. Just gonna take a hammer, again, put some safety glasses on. Just gonna actually break off that plastic. There is gonna be some more tin on here that I'm gonna throw in the tin. Okay, I don't have to do a lot of work to this, thank goodness, but look at that. Beautiful pieces here. Again, some really nice magnetic attraction. So all of this, I can just actually throw this right into my tin as is. And there is my brass. So again, I'm gonna check. None of this is magnetic. So that whole thing is gonna be brass. This one, same thing, no magnetic attraction. So again, a beautiful chunk of brass. And if they had, for example, these ones that had the magnetic attraction, gonna do the same thing. But there is right here still, if I take a hammer, I'm gonna just hit that. Gotta get to it. Okay, just gonna have to peel that off because this one is actually pretty stubborn, which is amazing. There we go, just gonna pull that off first. So then I can get to my plastic, okay, but do want to make sure that I pull off my screws just to make sure that they are not going to go into my brass. There we go. Wow, this one is stubborn. There we go. So just have to work at it. Obviously this one is a lot harder to do, but there we go. Just gonna tear that open, pop this down, and there you go with some brass. So just gonna pull that out. It is connected with a couple things, but there is my brass. So again, I'm just trying to speed it up. I probably would hit it a little bit less off camera, but there you go. Notice nice non-magnetic, so a nice hunk of brass there as well. So outlets for sure, another area. And the last one I want to look at very quickly are these are from my tubular light bulbs. I do find these a whole bunch. People are replacing them from their garage. Schools I've seen them at, dumpsters around apartments. Any type of larger buildings have them. And the great thing about these tubular light holders is inside, you can see right there, beautiful brass. All I'm gonna do for this, again, is just gonna hit it with a hammer, break off that plastic. Okay, that's why safety glasses are a great item, for sure. Okay, look at that. 2 beautiful pieces of brass. Took me no time at all. So it all adds up. Got to make sure I look. There is no magnetic attraction. That whole thing is brass. Sometimes it is a little bit hard to notice if it is brass or not because it looks like it has some type of paint on it. But this is... Oh, I stand corrected. This one is actually copper. So that's even better. This is the higher value. This is copper. Wow. That's great. I love having these little things on there. That's good. This one, however, is going to probably be brass because it looks like brass, but that's great. I'm going to change this video title. Going to call it brass and sometimes copper. But hey, that's good. I'm glad sometimes to have bloopers in here. Shows that I'm human. Shows that I make mistakes too. But again, hey, that was a good mistake because I just got from $3.02 a pound for those prongs. Gonna make about $4.30 a pound for those ones. Here is your brass. Again, another tubular light. These are great. I do have videos on full teardowns of tubular lights. The ballasts in there, not worth opening for that copper. Very messy, but they are also worth something at a scrapyard. As well, the entire case of those are gonna be tin. And what's also great about these is they've got a really nice copper wire that comes off of them. These are definitely worth taking off that outer coating and getting the clean Bare Bright, or actually this is not going to be Bare Bright. This will be #1 copper because this is not thicker than 16 gauge. But this is all going to be #1 copper. Give me about $4.45 a pound. But the brass in here, very nice item for sure. Any type of your lights or lamps, fixtures, inside of that, you can see the brass. I do actually have a video I just did on removing the brass from these. This one is or does have a ceramic case. This one, I'm just gonna break this very gently because I don't want this all over. It can be sharp, but just removing the ceramic. There you go. Okay, but beautiful brass casing inside of that. Look at that, the holder there does have some nice brass. This is gonna be clean aluminum. Give me 45 cents a pound for this, or 55 cents a pound, sorry, for clean aluminum. But the nice pieces of brass there. A lot of people will drive by lamps, just take the cord, leave the rest. So any type of light bulbs for sure. You wanna make sure you get that little bit of brass. Sometimes they are copper. Here is another style. This is more of a spring lock one, but again, you can see inside that hole does have brass. Just gonna see if I can open it a little bit. Okay, so there is, right there, the brass part. And it also had, you can see, look at that, has a beautiful copper spring in it. Gonna make sure this is copper. Unfortunately, it is not, so this is your faux copper. It is disguised to look like copper, but because it is magnetic, this is actually a tin or shred piece. So you do have to be careful of those. I was getting excited thinking that was copper, but no matter, it still has some really nice brass inside of that, right on the tip that has come out. So you do want to make sure you get that brass. It is anywhere and everywhere. Here is the holder that came with it, the circular holder. That too, you can see, non-magnetic. So that too is brass. So looking forward to weighing all this brass here that I have. Easy to accumulate weight, $3.02 a pound for it. But again, 3 common areas that I often find it: power bars, outlets like this, house renovations, as well as your tubular lights and lamps. So hope you enjoyed that. Again, had a question on brass, wanted to do a video showing it. It is out there anywhere and everywhere, so go get that Scrapper Silver. Great price for sure, and it does not take a lot to add up weight. So again, hope you enjoyed that. Happy Thanksgiving to all of my viewers and followers and friends and family in Canada. This is the Thanksgiving weekend. Thank you again for the support and the comments. Thanks for the ideas as well. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.